Hey everybody, I am Heidelin here for Etopia Live here with my co-host St. Josh. What's up, Josh?
I'm super glad to be here today. Look forward to
Me
this.
too. Florida's back. I'm doing this from outside, so I always like it when I can do this from outside.
For sure. Yeah, Florida weather.
So we've had all kinds of exciting things happen with the ETOPIA Festival project this week. Starting out with Friday. We had a shared event, a pop-up event in Lake Asbury at Asbury Arts Center. It was a musical performance, song and dance. I got a chance to perform one of my new songs for the first time, so that was pretty cool. But Joanna Tress, oh, I guess I'm jumping ahead of myself. Francine was Princess Francie. She is one of our Believe sisters, and she has written a children's book. And so she got up and talked a little bit more about how Princess Francie was created. And Joanna was amazing. Her one woman musical was, it just stole your attention. Like, I wasn't distracted by coughing or noises or like anything. I was just enthralled with the whole thing, and her voice is amazing. So, we've got some video from that we're working on editing. So some of that performance is going to come out soon. So, it was a really good night. Met some new people, hung out with some people we've known for a while that hadn't heard us sing before. So that it was a really cool night. And we got to talk a little bit more about what we're doing with ETOPIA Festival. And just to fill you guys in, ETOPIA Festival is a workforce development project that is meant to bridge the gap between the kids that are doing performing arts, that are doing any creative arts, really. Like, you might be involved in all these clubs in school, and then suddenly, like, you graduate, and now you have to grow up and then be an adult, and you don't have time for that, and that's cute, and that's not a real job, and all that stuff. Like, at least that's kind of what happened to me. But the thing is, there are all of these different jobs that you could get into that get you into the music industry, that get you into the film industry, that get you into the art community. And it's really just a matter of being able to hang around some people that have done it before, have some mentors to kind of give you some clues as to where to look so you don't have to figure everything out on your own. And then be able to kind of get some experiences across a couple different fields so you can really decide what it is that you enjoy doing. And so what we're working on is a 10-week cohort for 16 to 24-year-olds, and they'll be able to learn more about how to plan an event. And in the future, we hope to be doing lots of these, and it could be lots of different events. We'd like to do some comedy shows. We'd like to do some film showings. We'd like to do some art galleries. We did a metal show back in August. That was our prototype to just see if like we could pull this off. And we, in fact, could pull it off with the team we have so far. So we're moving forward with this project this year, and we needed an event to give some people some hands-on experience for how to plan an event. And it also turns out that the students I've been talking to so far have all been groups of girls. And so I have about 8 to 12 girls that are like, that sounds really cool, and I would love to do something like that, that are just kind of waiting for more details to find out when this cohort is going to start and when it's going to be. It looks like it will be over the summertime, so that's going to be awesome. Hopefully that'll make it a little bit easier for more to be able to participate in this program. And then the event for the Believe Retreat is September 14th through the 16th. So the idea of this is for them to get some hands-on experience on how to do planning for an event, how do you rent the space, how do you market for an event, all of the little details like food planning and food allergies and all of that stuff, to some of the more creative and fun stuff like setting up the lighting for the particular situation, because we're going to have speakers for a good majority of the day during the retreat. But then in the evening, Joanna is going to be performing her Precious Gems musical. So that's a completely different scenario for light and sound. And there'll also be video recording at this event. So it's a chance to get some hands-on experience and actually do it and be able to write that down on their resume as I actually participated in something like this. And the last couple of weeks are just kind of some recap. What did we learn from this event? What went well? What didn't go well? So that's pretty much what it is that we're working on, and why we started this live stream, so that we could start to tell the story of this project and also start to tell the stories of the people that are helping with this project. So we have coming up some music video releases from our August event. Just trying to plan those dates with the bands so that we can plan those events and get those videos released for you. We are also interviewing interesting people in the music industry as we come across them. And so I've got one video recorded that we're doing some editing for, and that we're going to be releasing for you soon. And I think that's about it for our story for where we're at right now. So
Yeah, I think that sounds about right. Yeah.
yeah, that was everything that I wanted to talk about, I think, with that. So I'm going to put some links in the chat so you guys can check out more about the Believe Retreat for Women Creatives and the ETOPIA Festival. Because those students are going to need some sponsors to go through this program. So Etopia is looking for some sponsors. There'll be more information on the website for that. And, if you happen to be a woman creative, this retreat's going to be super awesome. It's a weekend to get away. It's just going to be a maker space for us to create our lives the way that we want it to be. And now we're going to have an opportunity to mentor some young women just by participating and growing in our own lives. So this collaboration has turned this into something even bigger than what we initially thought we were creating. So with that, now we're going to talk a little bit more about some music industry stuff. And since I have St. Josh here, and he does so many things. Like, he's got his fingers in all these different little spots, and he's learned about all of this stuff, and he's super knowledgeable. And so that's one reason I like to pick his brain on this stuff. And so today we're talking about building a music sync community. And the first thing that I want you to answer is, what
Yep.
is that?
Yes. So what I'm building right now is, as you said, a sync community, and essentially it's a collective of creatives, so artists, songwriters, producers, people that write and make music, and it's going to be a community that helps artists get placements for their music into TV and film. And that's essentially what sync means. Sync means, synchronization to picture. So getting your song with, like in a TV show or a movie, could be an advertisement. There's a lot of different media types that need music, and essentially it's just getting the music synced to picture. So what I'm trying to do is create a community of artists, producers, and the creatives, where we create music, and then I'll represent the music, and we'll pitch the music out for briefs, and try to get it uh, essentially placed into different media types, so artists can get paid get paid for their music. And I feel like that's, in my opinion, one of the best and smartest ways for an independent artist to start growing and building and get a source of income from their music.
So if I heard you right, I heard you say that I can just create music and you're going to help me get that music in front of the right people that are going to present me bigger opportunities than what I've found so far by myself.
Yes, yes, exactly. So that's the thing. And with me, I do a lot of hands-on one-on-ones, and just making sure that everybody is pretty much educated on how the industry works, getting you set up so you can collect your royalties, and um, so you can earn money from your music, and make sure you're following the best practices, because there are a few things when you get into that side of the music industry that you need to know about, because they're really important for your success and longevity. So yeah, kind of, yeah, absolutely.
So, are these secrets? Like, are there like, can you name a couple of the things that like people typically are overlooking when they're trying to get these kind of opportunities?
Yeah, there's different ways to do it. Essentially, you have different strategies that you could do depending on what type of media you're trying to be in. There's you have sync agents, which is basically what I'm acting as, and then you have music supervisors, and music supervisors are the people that put your music into a show or movie, because they're responsible um, for a production. So, like, there could be a movie or a TV show, and the director and the production team, they'll bring in a supervisor, and that supervisor is the person that is responsible for putting, selecting the music that will be used for the scenes. And that's kind of what a sync agent like me, which is essentially what I'm building, is I have a few relationships with supervisors, and I will take this music directly to some of my connections and stuff, and present that music, and to see where it could fit. And as far as like things that people overlook, I feel like it's really important for people to make sure that their music is fully original, where there's no samples and things like that from other music unless you have clearance. And that's a whole process in itself. So a lot of times for independent artists, I say it's better to just make something fully original, because if you're trying to clear samples, that can be pretty expensive.
Yeah, totally. All right. So, how like, or I guess I shouldn't say how. Um, what kind of people like are you looking to have in this collective and how are you finding them? That's the order I wanted to ask that question.
Okay. Yeah, how am I finding them, and what type of people? Okay. So right now, I have been mostly focused on hip hop, because that is my niche. But I am expanding. I recently have a new pop artist on my team. So I'm going to be expanding into pop, so hip hop and pop. As we build, I would love to have more and more genres. So basically, anybody that's making fully original music, that is serious about their career, that wants to, really start earning more of an income, get more opportunities, and uh, just build so they can eventually be, full time in music, and are ready to, take that big step, then I would love to have them be a part of what I'm doing, because as we grow, I'm going to be building a catalog and library of music. So um, I'm going to need music for different scenarios. I might need a pop artist. I might need a country artist. I might need a rock, like rock genre. I might need, there's so many different needs that could be used for TV and film, because any type of music really can be synced. Um, so yeah, I'm just looking for people that are very serious and about their career, because I would love to just start, growing and expanding out into those other genres as well.
All right. Awesome. So, is there any advice that you have for people, or like podcasts maybe people should watch, or if people want to like learn more about this, like where would I go to learn more?
There is a lot of different places. There's different coaches, some YouTube. I'm trying to think of what's a really good one. Um, I would just start by looking up, sync licensing or music sync, and kind of researching that on YouTube. There's a lot of different channels. I was trying to think of a really good one to point to. Um, can't think of something off the top of my head.
Sorry, I did kind of
um,
put you on the spot with that question. Sorry.
yeah, yeah. No, it's totally okay. Um, but yeah, it's important to really get an education. So I would start looking into that on YouTube, and there are really good YouTubers who kind of explain the process, and then that's kind of what I do too. Is I'm kind of a bridge between the supervisor, because when I start working with people, I make sure that they know the most important things, and I try to um, expedite that process, because it took me a long time to really understand how sync works. So that's what I do, is I kind of, when I have an artist, I'll vet them and kind of educate them. And because some people that I find are super talented, they write really great music, but then they don't have much of an education into this side of the music industry. So when I meet with them, I make sure that they understand, the best practices, and understand the basics, to make sure that everything's going to be good. It'll all be, legal. We can get it cleared, because if we can't get something cleared, then we won't even, be able to use it, and then that could create problems down the line for the music supervisors and the production companies. And you don't want that. You want to make everything really easy for the supervisors, because their life is already so busy with all of the things that they do. So we're essentially just trying to bridge that gap and make it really, really smooth process. So that's kind of what I do, is just making sure that everyone's up to speed and on the same page.
So it sounds like the biggest advice that you have is just educate yourself as much as possible, because there's this other aspect of things too. How do you know who to trust with your music and these contracts and what you're doing? So I feel like the more that you know about how the industry works before you're sitting at the table with a contract with someone,
Yep.
and the more people that you have on your team that know about how this portion of the industry works, but people like you that are actually spending the time, more of your time, to understand how this works, or lawyers that understand more time how to read all of the legal stuff and things like
Yeah.
that, to really protect yourself and what you've created. I mean, you don't want
Yeah.
that to be stolen or taken away from you, or you sign off your rights to something and you don't know what you're getting into.
Yeah. Absolutely. I feel like the education aspect is so important, because once you learn these things and know these things, you can't be taken advantage of, and you have a real understanding of what all the terminology is that you would see in a contract, and you're not just signing something, kind of uh eagerly and blindly and then regretting it later. And I feel like, we've heard horror stories in the music industry like countless amount of times from even on the traditional recording side where artists will sign record deals and not realize what they're getting into because they didn't understand copyrights, they didn't understand ownership in music. And um, it's crazy, to see those stories kind of develop with like famous artists that, they were young and, they kind of blew up and then got these offers, signed a deal because they think, it's going to be some super great opportunity. But in reality, they're signing away all their rights while the record labels are profiting, and they're barely maybe got paid in advance. And people don't understand that an advance is essentially borrowed money that has to be paid back, so it's pretty crazy because if you were to get $1 million advance, but then you only owned 10% of your master, you're having to pay back your advance on your 10%. So even if you make $1 million, you're only paying back 100,000 because that's your portion of what you own, and people don't realize that. It's like, so it's so important for you to have an education on everything when it comes to your music and your business.
And I couldn't agree more, and that's why we hang out. And
Yeah,
that just brings it to the last point of having community of other like-minded people. Um, they're the people that you can talk to when you start to feel stuck, and they're not the ones that are going to be like, "That sounds hard. Why are you doing that?" And then you have to explain yourself. When you have the right community around you, you don't have to explain your passion. They just kind of get that part. And then we just kind of support group each other through the parts that aren't as much fun, like copyrights and
yeah,
business and marketing.
yeah. All of those things. And I would say, yeah, a lot of artists and a lot of creatives are not as into that side of the industry. And I feel like for me, I feel like I really excel in that stuff because I love meetings. I love making spreadsheets and presentations, and I feel like I'm almost a rarity as an artist because a lot of artists I know don't like those things, and I feel like I'm such an analytical person, so attentive to those details, and it makes it so fun for me to really just go in and help somebody understand these things and expedite the education, because it took me years to learn things that I can teach them in 20, 30 minutes or an hour. And obviously, they're not going to know everything, but it'll give them a really good foundation to kind of start with. And that's what I like to do is just make sure everybody's, you know, confident in what they're getting into.
Right. That's always the nice part about having an expert to work with is normally it's like, oh, do you want to read the whole long book or should I just give you the cliff notes? And it's like, yeah,
Yeah,
let's shorten this up and like get there already. So that's always the benefit of having somebody to help you out. And that
yeah,
is a huge reason behind why ETOPIA Festival is putting together this workforce development project and why we are here streaming. And Josh, I just want to thank you for your insight into this part of the music industry that I feel a lot of people, like you said, they're missing some of the foundational stuff that could really be helping them have another revenue stream with the same
yeah,
amount of effort that they're already doing. It's just there's going to be a little bit of effort into something that's not as much fun to do for a while, but it'll be real fun when you start getting some of those bigger
yeah,
checks.
yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
All right, so we're going to be back here, I think, again on Monday. We kind of have a regular schedule going here. Mondays, 5-ish, ish.
Yeah, run five.
And the one thing I did forget to mention in our progress report this morning is that I have started talking to local female directors that are going to be helping with mentoring and teaching the filming portion of this event. And I think I've got 3 awesome ladies that may be interested in helping with this. So with that being said, Etopia Festival is looking for mentors in the Jacksonville, Florida area that would like to help out with this project with event planning to admin stuff to social media management. And also, maybe you're kind of interested in doing like some apprenticeship work and helping these younger people get into some of the industries that you're already working in. So if you are interested in that, reach out to me. I guess I need to put a contact information in here for that. You can reach out
Awesome.
to me at heidelin.coaching@gmail.com and I will be happy to get you in touch with the right information so you can help us with that.
Awesome. And then you said your other retreat is the September 14th through 16th.
Yes, the Believe Retreat for Women Creatives is September uh, 12th through the 14th. And that's going to be also in Jacksonville, Florida. And you can get more information on our website that I posted there earlier. And I want to say
Okay.
thank you to the people we have watching today. You hung out with us the whole time, so that's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Josh, do you have any final words for everybody?
I'm just grateful to meet with you, and I love that we're doing these weekly, get-togethers, and we're discussing different topics each week, and it's just great to kind of talk about these things because this is really important for any creative to kind of get up to speed with, and I think it's a great way to kind of educate yourself, even just our little videos we go over briefly. So yeah.
No, we're just kind of going with the flow and whatever topic we were kind of talking about during the week with other people is what we've been bringing up so far. But we're interested in hearing what you want to talk about. So, if you're watching this video, you can add in the comments some ideas of what you'd like to see us talk about, and we will be happy to get some experts in here to help us have that conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, until next week, 5-ish, we'll see you guys around.